There we go.
We're rolling.
Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together for Nerdbuzzed.
Nerdbuzzed doesn't condone the consumption of alcohol by any persons under the age of 21. Please drink responsibly.
Welcome to Nerdbuzzed, the podcast where we talk about all the nerdy stuff that we care about and drink a cool frosty brew while we're doing it. I'm your host, Marcus Ellinger. With me, as always,
Jeremiah Johnson.
And back, out of the intern corner.
Jack Hughes. Welcome.
Forgot his own name for a second
Yeah,
there.
I might have. That's
I like that you guys wore some nerd swag.
Yeah.
Way to
Well,
go.
it was
Way to
covered. I
represent.
had my Minions costume, and it was like a onesie, and it was all covered in lint and whatever. And I took the time. It was like 10 minutes getting all that like Minions lint off. So. Yeah, I worked really hard. to get this look today.
I mean, he could have just washed it, but...
No, well, it was... that wouldn't have...
Basically, what he's saying is that it's like Superman. He just wears the Nerdbuzzed shirt under everything he wears, because he never knows when. That's what you were trying to get at?
No, I washed my Minions costume in the washer, and it got lint everywhere.
On everything?
Yeah.
Okay.
In the dryer, it didn't do anything. Didn't help at all.
All right, so this is episode 100. Yeah.
100.
It's crazy.
First century episode.
Sight?
That's right. And so we're doing it live. We've never done that before. We're pretty excited.
Heck it.
Hey,
We'll
didn't
do
we
it
do
live.
like 12
Yeah.
seconds
Joke.
before?
12 seconds before? I think
Yeah,
so,
we
yes.
did.
On accident. Yeah, we did it on
couple
accident.
minutes.
Yeah.
It was a couple minutes.
So before we digress too much, we go over to Jay.
For the beer?
Yes, please.
Okay, well, you provided the beer this time.
I did.
Yes, it is the...
You say that like I've never done it before.
Have you? Oh, yeah, I guess you have to.
Yeah.
It is Deschutes Brewing Jubal Ale. It's their 6.7% winter ale out of Bend, Oregon. I don't know, what do we say about it? It's...
I think you did good.
Yeah, sure. Oh, wait, it says right here, Festive Winter Ale from Deschutes.
It is that time of year.
It is.
So I've been cheating, actually, because I've drank a few
I know,
of these.
you posted even.
Yeah, I know.
Wow, it's got a really rich malt
Yeah, it does.
aroma. It's
Nice dark tone. Still a little ambery.
a little roasty. It's caramelly and malt. That's what I'm getting
Yeah.
out of the aromas.
Speaking of caramel,
Oh, yeah, I forgot about
I have
that.
the Sioux City root beer, and I smelt it, and yeah, one of the first things I got a whiff of was caramel. Which
Is that a
weird.
good thing? Are you excited for that?
I like caramel.
Does it boast that?
It's like one of the fourth ingredients. I don't know. I didn't see any
Caramel
guarana.
color
Oh, I
is-
guess-
Yeah.
let's see. Is there any guarana?
You better
Nope.
not be.
No guarana this time. Nice. It's not going to taste like
Yeah.
balls.
No, I've had good luck with the caramely root beers so far. I feel like those have been some of my
Alright.
some of my higher ups. So I'm excited to see what this one's like.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. Well, let's give it the real test.
Alrighty.
And to all the nerds,
Through all the fuzz.
bottoms up.
Let's get Nerdbuzzed.
Clankety, clankety.
Oh, yeah.
Share the love. Like that. Just had to the brim.
I was trying to fit all of the bottle in. Didn't quite make it. Still have a little drizzle.
Mine tastes a little watered down, as if they poured some water in there. But it's good. It's just a weird taste to receive.
Is it? It doesn't look super fizzy.
No. Yeah, and when I poured it in,
Well, did you see the way he poured
Because
it?
he relieved all of the carbonation.
Yeah.
Yeah. We do need to educate you on how to pour.
I don't even. What, so wait, am I supposed to like just turn it upside
No.
down?
No.
You tip the glass and pour down the side.
That's the opposite way. You need to go the other way with it.
It's like
Tip
so it's
the
like
glass,
whipped cream.
put some in there.
When you want to do whippets, you don't do it upside down.
Well, that's because
Okay.
you don't want the whipped cream to get in. That's like a gravity thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, you need to tip the glass with the bottle. By the way, if you would like to comment on the show today, go to YouTube, because where you are,
yeah.
and comment in the comment section. Or you can comment on Twitter. I'm going to try to monitor my phone. It'd be super cool to get a couple comments.
Yes,
if you would
good.
like to comment and tell Jack how to pour a root beer, we would love to hear that too. So please do it.
So anyway, what do you think of the beer?
I think it's pretty good.
I'm getting a lot of that kind of cidery, extra malt flavor that I don't care for.
Oh, really?
But that's something that's common. That is something that's common in the winter and Scotch ales.
I like that it's got this subtle kind of roasty flavor to it. Do you get any of that? Or is that just
it's got quite a bit of roast to it.
I like that. It's actually, for as much of the flavors that it has, because it does kind of have that caramely flavor. It's got a little bit of that kind of red beer flavor. It's got the roasty flavor. It's got all that stuff, but it still balances it pretty well.
Yeah,
the cidery bit.
It does.
I'm gonna have to notice that.
It's got that. It's a lighter body than I was expecting. I was expecting to have a lot heavier mouthfeel and body to it.
Mouthfeel.
Yeah, you'll get it someday.
Yeah.
Wait, what? Oh,
But
Balls. No, it's not bad. It's pretty good. I mean, my palate's probably acclimated to somewhat from
Yeah.
GTA Tuesday.
I've never been the biggest fan of the winter ales, though. So
Because they have that cideriness.
ciderness is
yeah,
me.
just they're based on a red. They're based on the scotches and red styles.
Yeah,
There's
which I totally agree.
extension of that, and I'm not a big fan of those. So
Yeah, totally.
but yeah. Anyway,
So
keep drinking it. It'll get better.
right? Because they usually do.
Yep.
So we're gonna keep playing our nerd play for one more week, and we're playing Bound, and we've all dabbled.
Of course.
I think that's about all you can
I
really
smashed
do
it.
with Bound
Yeah,
is
I
dabble,
destroyed that game.
because it's tough, right?
Yeah, it's so hard. Yeah.
So really, go play Bound. It's amazing if you can't tell. And as
the
always,
walls will stop you, and you get to dance.
yes, right. There's a lot of. It's very pretentious.
We're gonna
I'm just
talk about it
say
next
that.
episode,
Ribbon dancing,
and
very pretentious.
I'm gonna rip into it.
All right.
We're all gonna rip into it. Did you bring ribbons?
No,
Damn it!
no.
So, as always, you can go to, I forgot to put it on the sheet. You can go to Patreon, Nerdbuzzed, patreon.com, where if you donate $35, you can get some sweet swag, like the stuff that we're wearing,
Oh yeah.
and a sticker and a magnet. Totally helps us out, helps keep the show going, puts us in the profit margin. That would be awesome.
Yeah, we are still paying.
Yeah, like, share,
I'm
and
not.
subscribe. Do all that good stuff. Tell your friends. Shrink the screen. Mash that subscribe button. Just make sure you do it an odd number of times so that we stay subscribed.
Yeah. Yes.
Right?
Math.
It matters.
2 + 2 is 4. -1. That's 3.
That's right.
Quick math.
And comment on YouTube or on Twitter. We would love to hear from you.
Absolutely.
Yep.
And let's start. I want to start out the show. I kind of want to talk about the whole EA Battlefront scandal that's kind of went on.
Yeah.
Not that they're the only people that are guilty of it, but we're going to point our fingers at them today.
Yep.
But before that, because there was a massive nerd thing that happened this week, I think we have to at least touch on it. We got our first trailer for Infinity War.
I
Yes.
didn't even see it.
What? You
Yeah.
haven't watched it?
Nope.
Where's your phone?
They
We'll
got-
talk
and-
about
and
it.
they've
We'll
got-
talk about it while he watches the trailer for 20 minutes without any sound.
They got
Wait, 20 minutes?
2 minutes, sorry.
yeah, they got Stone Cold Steve Thanos.
Yes, right, yeah.
Does that even...
What did you what did you think of the trailer, Jay? Since you watched it because you're a real nerd.
Wow, all right.
First thing I noticed was the Thanos CGI. It just was harsh.
Yep.
And
a little bit abrasive.
I hope that's something that's cleaned up later in the final product, much like they did with Deadpool.
Yeah.
So, because I mean, you remember how awful those looked, but when they got it on the big screen, it looked great. So,
Well, and I think that I guess to be fair though, with the Deadpool stuff, at least in the trailers, part of what makes it look super cool is the cheesiness.
well, it's the cheesiness, but you just the like I said in the trailer of it. I mean, the people he was killing on the bridge looked like stick figures, almost. I mean, just wooden.
It just wasn't quite done being processed.
Yes.
The biggest thing that I took away from the trailer, a lot of people are just crapping their pants because we finally got to see Thanos, and I mean we've been teased by him, but it's like he's really here now. As far as the characters of the MCU are concerned, it's their first time being exposed to him, right? Which is this super big deal.
Yeah.
I thought, Thanos is great, and that was all awesome. Kind of in the same boat as you. I wasn't as impressed. I wish he was wearing his armor. He's not wearing his armor.
He needs to put his helmet on. I skimmed through it. He needs to put his helmet on.
Yeah.
And how did he go from purple
To like pink.
in all of the after trailer stuff to Majin Buu?
He looks like he looks like Krang. Krang and Majin Buu.
Yeah.
Dados
Krang before he lost his body.
Yeah.
That'll be Avengers 4. We'll be with the turtles.
Yeah.
In Dimension X.
Oh my God.
I also, I wish he was wearing his armor. At the end of the Infinity comic books, he is like made peace with stuff, and so he's kind of was like going to be a farmer or something off on his little. And he kind of wears clothes. If I'm remembering correctly, it's been a while, that are more similar to what's in the trailer. Like, he's not wearing armor. He's just kind of in more casual gear.
Yeah, which is weird because it's the opposite. Is he going to
Yeah,
go to the
he's
farm and he's going to be in his like battle suit?
Yeah. Right? He's going to show up and hoe some fields and whatever, right? It's like, I don't know. I was a little bit disappointed. That wasn't the highlight for me. I really, what I took away from it was how just beat down our heroes that have been with us as long as they have, like Captain America and Iron Man, specifically those two, in the trailer, look so worn out and tired.
Well, they look like they did when they left off.
They're probably going to die. Yeah, this is, Infinity War would be
Captain America,
a great point to kill him off.
Yeah, I totally agree, and I think they should be. Tired, right?
in Infinity Wars, don't they get killed off?
Everyone did. I mean, like
lots of people,
a bunch of random people, and then everyone that fights him. But then I think Adam Warlock brings them all back.
Yeah,
right?
That's another point.
Oh yeah,
he's not in it, right? There is no Adam Warlock. He was teased at the end of Guardians 2.
Probably,
right?
He's probably going to be in the second one.
I was wondering if there'd be like a end credit scene where they will have Adam Warlock like finally like stand, like it'll just be everything's gone to crap and like things just look terrible at the end of it, but then like rising from the ashes or something will be Adam Warlock, and like maybe he'll revive some people or whatever.
Now, is Adam Warlock, is he basically like just the polar opposite of like the Red Scarlet Witch, or?
No, he is.
What even does he do?
I don't know. I don't know.
He's a warlock.
I don't know Adam Warlock.
What even are warlocks?
Well, and he eventually gets a stone, and like the Vision, he has the stone in his forehead, right?
Oh.
If I remember correctly, I think that's right.
Oh, that's right. Vision has one of the stones.
Mm-hmm.
That's right.
And in the trailer, they show that him getting the stone taken out.
Yeah.
And there's also a shot where Vision is just like flesh, like as opposed to his kind of purpley pinkish color, right? And I was wondering, like, when I watched the trailer, I was wondering if any of the stuff was like dream sequences or like the stone manipulating people's minds, right? Yeah,
yeah, BVS dream sequences,
right? And they even have that yellow tone to it. So I don't know. I really loved and I even love that they put the new beginning that they have, where it's kind of like that mashup of the old comic that like changes into the new stuff. I love that that's in the middle of the trailer. It really emphasizes that we're just changing and that the MCU is growing, and these people they're just gonna move on.
Yeah.
And start doing other things. And because even like Spider-Man, Doctor Strange, and Black Panther, if you look at their expressions and just the way they look in the trailer, they're so much more lit up than like Captain America and Iron Man are. Like, they just look defeated, right?
Yeah.
And the other guys are all like they're ready to go and like amped to get in there. So I'm excited to see that change happen. I hope they do it really gracefully and with really kind of giving respect to what all these characters, and I'm sure they will, right?
Yeah.
Like, there's no way that Disney's going to mess that up. I'm really curious about it. I'm wondering if Thanos will even get all the stones.
Oh, in this one?
And maybe you'll have like
they
one
only show
left.
him with two, right? Yeah. Like, is he going to be missing one that will like tie all that all in? I don't know.
Maybe. Well, have they even showed all the stones yet? There's the Guardians of the Galaxy one, the Tesseract, Visions, the one in Thor 2.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Was there another one? I think that's all of them.
Well, and then the last one I think was the Time Stone that was in Doctor Strange, right? Isn't that what was in his like amulet thing or whatever that he has?
Oh, probably.
I forgot about that.
But I think there's 6 because there's like one for all the things, and then the like reality one in the center or something.
Yeah.
So I think there's 6 in total. So
I think we're shy 2, if I remember correctly.
Well, because I counted 5 counting the Doctor Strange one.
So yeah, we're missing the one then.
Yeah.
Yeah, which I think is the Soul Stone,
Oh, that's dumb.
right?
Yeah.
Heart.
Never mind. Yeah. No, they just cut that out of the
Captain
canon.
Planet.
No.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Right. Oh, look it. We got a comment from my brother.
Oh.
What does he say? He says he wishes that he could ask questions on our live feed somehow.
Yeah, you just did.
Yeah, you just did. One, because you have my phone number, but because you can do that in the comment feed, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, Lucas, get on here, you dingus.
Yeah,
Get
go
on the
to
YouTube.
YouTube and
Or
do
Twitter.
it on there.
Or Patreon. Ask us questions with your money.
Yeah. We will answer with a t-shirt and say thank you.
Yeah.
Yes.
But yeah, I'm excited for Infinity War. I kind of want to stay away from trailers because I mean, at least for Thor, I tried to because I saw the whole Hulk thing, and in my mind, I was like, oh, that's gonna spoil everything. But
They did a great job with
Yeah.
that trailer of.
I think this
But
trailer's also done really well. Like, it doesn't... I don't think it ruins anything. It teases all the things that we've been waiting to see. And I'm really excited to see more. Like, there's so many more questions I have around all the things they showed.
Well, going
Yeah.
back to trailers and we'll say the DC side, BVS,
don't even.
those trailers, we saw basically the entire movie
Yeah.
based on those trailers. And we thought that was what was going to happen with the Justice League. And we were wrong. I mean,
Yeah.
Yeah.
they did a really good
Okay.
job with that. So, I mean, that's at least we're going the right direction.
Yes,
Yeah.
totally. Yeah.
And I think they're doing the same thing here. So,
Yeah,
But
no,
a
I'm
2-minute,
excited for it.
if a trailer's 2 minutes long, I'm always really skeptical
why?
because it's 2 minutes. That's like
So,
a lot of stuff.
Well, to be fair, there's probably like... You have the whole Marvel Studios thing in the middle of it, and then you got the build up at the beginning and the end of it. So
Yeah.
it's like... I bet you're
I'll,
like a minute
I'll
and a
watch
half.
some of the shorter ones for sure.
Okay, Jack.
But okay, what's next?
you do what you got to do.
Yeah.
Microtransactions,
Actually, it's just
DLC,
excuse
and
because of
pay
his
to
internet
play.
connection.
Should we dive into it all?
Yeah, maybe how about I'll go on the opposite side of it, and you guys be the irrational people complaining about it, and I'll be the realist. Okay. Hi, I'm CEO of EA.
Yeah, but you're the one that was like, we should talk about that.
Yeah, because I'm like,
Because you're
I'm
paid.
so for it.
No,
I
I'm
got
so
a job
for it.
now. I can afford this.
Well, I think before we dive in too much into the whole microtransaction and pay to win, right? I put pay to play, but I meant pay to win, which is a term I kept hearing about Battlefront.
yeah,
We should just be like really honest about the whole thing and say none of us have played Battlefront 2,
no,
right?
Two,
Nope.
not at all.
Not at all. We got Battlefront 1.
We got Battlefront 1. I paid extra for the deluxe version of it.
Yep.
And the stuff that you got, you didn't use the codes when you downloaded it because you got it first, and you already got to that stuff before I ever got the copy of it from
In
you.
like 5 hours.
Yeah.
Like it wasn't that long.
Yeah.
I played it for 2 days and already got all the things you paid $15
That's funny.
more for.
Yes.
Yeah. It was like a blaster and I don't know, other
Yeah.
stupid stuff.
So
Exactly.
we at EA actually heard that criticism, and we did the opposite. Oh,
What is
wait,
it?
Mark Ellinger. Oh, it's
Oh,
your
my
dad.
dad. What did he say? What's the comment?
Hey, nerds, looking good live up to the live feed.
Live up to the live. There we go.
Nice. Thanks. I'm okay with that too. You can just praise us also.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to be a question.
You can
But,
always bring some of that mead by. We'll review
let me
it here
add
for
a
you on
snap
air.
to my hat.
Yeah.
We saw the criticism there, and what we decided to do was make it so that when you bought the premium special edition, we made it so that you were actually really overpowered, because that actually happened. People got like way better weapons,
Yeah.
and they just had like a crazy advantage.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In
That's
a
the idea.
game
That's what you're
supposed to
paying
be balanced and competitive, and it's like,
Have
alright.
you not played any online games?
I mean, I have, but
mean,
it's like,
I mean, like,
well,
my experience with Madden is like really my
God.
my like focus on that, because that was one of my first times online play.
Mm-hmm.
Competitive online. Get on Madden, get online, throw the ball across, and jump ball. And there was at the time there was no receiver. There was nobody covering my receiver. All of a sudden, somebody just appears there, jumps up, catches it, and then starts spinning all the way down the field. And there's nothing I can do to stop him.
Juke.
Exactly. And then he's like doing the little comments thing because we didn't have headsets at that point in time,
yeah,
unless you were really rich. He was spending all his money on his characters.
Yeah.
What system was this for?
PS3.
Okay.
yeah, because
And,
that was when it started.
And
Yeah, I think that's where it all really started. Yeah.
yeah, and so then he's like commenting about how bad I am, and I'm like, it's my first time on. I don't have any characters built up, nothing.
Yeah.
And how great he is, talking how great he is, and all this other stuff, and then, obviously I kick off, or he kicks off to me, and he tackles me, forced fumble, recovery for him.
Yeah.
Picks it up, spin, all the way down the field. Nothing I can do to stop him. It's like, okay, so what is the point to keep playing this? And I never did.
Yeah.
I just
And
dropped it right
the
then and there.
saddest part is that person was probably like 10 years old.
Yeah, but he was so...
Right?
But, probably. I have no idea. I mean, he could have been 35 and just that big of an a-hole. But, I mean, seriously, it was such a vast...
We got 2 more comments.
Uh-oh.
One from Mark Ellinger. Nice choice of beer, drinking the same thanks to Costco.
Yeah.
And then my boy Brandon Reynolds. What up?
Word, do we give him one of these?
Yeah.
Whoop, whoop.
Wow.
Wow. Come on, Jay. That's a lot. And we're never giving Jay one of those, by the way.
Whoop whoop.
Yeah.
Oh,
You
because
didn't join in.
I'm not going to do those.
All right. Well, you don't get one then. It's
fine.
Just so you know. Forget that. I'm not giving you one of those on your birthday. So to the point of Battlefront 2, right? I will say, as far as Battlefront 1 goes, loads of flaws, but they did really achieve some really cool Star Wars elements to it that were really cool. Like the flying garbage in that game. The levels were so narrow and like really linear that I really felt like you would always hit the edges of the map really quickly.
Yes.
Yeah.
But the audio of that game and
Audio
some of
was
the visual
amazing.
stuff
Visuals were really
was
good.
really, really spot on and great.
The speeders, I did like the speeder runs.
Yeah.
Those were kind of fun. And they really did feel like you were running the speeders through like Jedi was.
Yeah.
So I really appreciated that. And the sound's spot on, especially with the surround sound that you had.
Yeah.
That was good.
Enough to where the neighbor came
But-
and yelled at us.
Yeah.
That was not...
That doesn't make a game good.
That
No,
did
no.
not make the game... I mean, that was not enough for just even standard purchase of the game.
It was enough to like light me up when I first started playing it. I was
Oh,
just
the first 5
this
minutes
is
was
so
cool.
And then as we started playing, it was like, this game's not good.
Exactly.
Right?
No, the first 5 minutes, it was like, wow, maybe I didn't get screwed.
Sort of like a No Man's Sky.
Yeah.
The old trick. I'm not gonna say that. But
Well, and I
word.
did actually buy the first one for $7.50 when it was on like super sale, and I
yeah.
played it a couple times online with people, and it's totally worth that, and it's fun. And I kind of think that might be the same way with Battlefront 2.
I wish I would have done that.
Yeah, I
And look
paid
how
a
quick-
tenth
and
of the
look at-
price, literally.
And the thing about it was, that was like a month later.
It was a little longer than that,
I know,
but, yeah,
but
within
it was-
6 months.
it was
Yeah.
quick.
Yeah, it was not that long. I think this will be the same way.
yeah.
So what had happened was they released Battlefront, right? And they had this option where you could, I think it's buying gems in the game. I'm not sure exactly,
Probably.
or crystals or whatever.
Yeah, it used
it's
to
like
be gems, now it's cards. Same with the Need for Speed game, you buy cards for your
Yeah.
engine. I don't even I'm not
yeah,
even gonna
it's
try and-
the it's the loot crate
Yeah.
like system, right? That's what it all is. So the pay to win was this big concern, and it was even that way with the beta. A lot of people were saying that this could be an issue, right?
Yeah.
And so when the game actually came out, it totally was an issue. It was super obvious.
Whoa.
And there was this massive fan backlash, right?
Wait, beta testers said something that they actually didn't listen to?
Yeah, they didn't listen to it, right? Big
Wow.
shocker. And I think and so they've since then pulled all that stuff from the game.
Yeah. Well, the first big thing.
Temporarily, from what I heard, though, isn't it?
I think, yeah, well, they're
They-
going to try to polish the turd and then
Yeah, okay.
resubmit, right? Yeah.
They have oh god, what did they say? It was on Reddit. These people were asking like, why is this even a thing? And they're like, or it was like, to unlock all the heroes that you have to unlock through the crates, it'll take like hundreds of hours. And like, we want people to feel a great sense of accomplishment for unlocking these heroes. And basically, it's made so that they break you, and
Well,
then you buy it.
Yeah.
I'm the same way on the game we're playing right now, Grand Theft Auto.
Oh, yeah. Yeah,
I mean,
I got that in
I
here.
mean, you and Walter have a ton of stuff, and granted, you've put the time in
Yeah.
just by playing with Walter
Yeah.
for a year and a half.
2 years.
For a year and a half before I jumped in,
Yeah.
and I've been joining her every now and pretty much every Tuesday, and I'm not anywhere close to the level that you guys are at. And you guys are talking about all this stuff and all the greatest new stuff. And I'm like, dude, I'm still trying to get the thing from 6 months ago.
Yeah.
But you could buy shark cards.
I bought a shark card because I really appreciated what they did, and it was on a great deal for it. And I think that it was a great tip to them to do that.
Yeah.
But I'm not buying shark cards anymore because I think it's a waste of total waste.
As far as
and a total freaking gouge to your pocketbook.
Yeah.
Oh, for sure. They're not cheap. And for what you get for not real money at all, for in-game money, the ratio's very skewed.
Oh, and
right?
every update...
It's like $100 for $8 million in the game.
Yeah.
Which, as soon as an update comes out, $6 million of that's gone.
Yeah, exactly. So every update
Yeah.
we've gotten... every update we've gotten has had just astronomical numbers for things.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not rooted in any form of reality. Granted, it's a game. It's not supposed to be. But you know what I'm saying, though.
Yeah.
They're just creeping forward.
Yeah.
It's been like that for years. They always do it, and no one
but,
says
I mean, they did it within
almost
their
too
own
late.
game, though. I mean, when they started, you could get an expensive car with $700,000 of game currency.
Yeah.
You know, and now to get a car that was essentially the equivalent upgrade back then, you're looking at $2.5 million.
Yeah. It's definitely gotten worse.
You know, and then you got to tune that car, and that's another $3 million probably to tune the damn car.
Nice.
Yeah.
It's smart.
Super expensive.
Yeah.
As far as the Battlefront 2 goes, I do think...
Oh, we're still talking about that.
Yeah. Well, there's one thing I do want to comment on it that I think is actually super cool. Massive fan backlash, lots of complaints, and I think they were listening and saying they were going to do something about it. But Disney actually stepped up with their own concerns about it and said, hey, what are you doing with our property here? And aren't you hearing this major backlash? And so then they did pull all this stuff. And I have to give a little bit of credit to Disney for doing that, because I think, like, as we're talking about Infinity War and all that, Disney deserves a lot of credit for treating the properties that they have with a lot of respect.
Yes.
And a lot of respect for nerds, for us, and the hardcore fans that grew up with that, and now we're finally getting to see it realized. They understand that to a certain degree. At least it comes across that way.
It comes across that way, but how much of it is they're just protecting their own interests and wanting to keep us paying them?
Yeah, well, but again,
Which is fine.
I'm okay
all...
with that,
Yeah.
as long as the product that they're putting out is quality.
Exactly.
Like, I don't mind paying money for quality stuff, and the impression I get is what they're doing is they're coming up with a quality standard, right?
Yeah.
And they want to maintain that, and I'm
And
okay with
they've
that.
proven that in the MCU.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So-
Or even in Star Wars, right? Like Star Wars, the things that they've done with we know about the other trilogy that we all really love and we're huge fans of, right? And then as soon as Disney got a hold of it, it's like 180'd and gotten so much better.
I gotta say one thing though with that other trilogy. So you know the whole Kojima Konami
Yeah.
thing,
No,
and
never,
how much
I don't even,
Never heard of it.
Well, you know, you know how great that was.
Yeah.
And how much you always keep bringing up how much of it was Konami holding Kojima back just enough.
Yeah.
Reining him in what he needed to be reined in. Mm-hmm. How good do you think it would have been if they kept Lucas on with Disney and Disney being like, no, George, that's just a little too far. Bring it back just a little bit.
Yeah, I don't know. That would have been interesting to see, right?
I mean, do you think? First of all, I don't think George could handle that. I think that he's just too proud of a person to do that. But
Oh, and it's like so long since then. It's like
I know.
he's so entitled by now.
I
right?
know.
Yeah.
But I think that might have actually been a great thing because I think his vision for his universe is probably better than anybody else's overall vision. But he seems to like focus on these details that don't need to be focused on.
Well, and
Just gets way too into this little thing that just doesn't matter.
Yeah.
And then budget and time constraints obviously force him out on other things.
Yeah, totally. Well, and how much of that do you think has to do with how they're going to do their own Star Wars stuff now? Because you heard about that, right?
Oh, yes.
They're doing their own. That's not going to be part of the Skywalker story.
Yes, I've heard that.
Yeah.
Which I'm all cool for because they're going to go back and if I've heard they're going back to the Old Republic days.
Wait. Whoa, what?
They're coming out with new Star Wars stuff that's not going to relate to.
So you know how they're keeping the Star Wars thing every year? They're bringing a Star Wars movie.
Yeah.
Okay. So what they're talking about doing is, after this trilogy is done, so it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Once 9's done, they're going to go way back to the Old Republic days.
Nice.
And start doing another trilogy back then.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'd totally be
that
down
won't
for that.
deal with any of the Skywalker stuff.
Okay, I
It'll
thought
be
you meant they were
pre
going to,
that.
like, do an alternate universe canon.
No,
Like,
no,
why would
no,
they do
no.
that? That's dumb.
And
Okay.
I am totally for that because that there's some books and stuff that have fallen. A couple of comic books have taken on to the Old Republic
The
days.
games, the awesome
And I would
games.
say, and the games were awesome.
Yeah.
So
The good Star Wars games. They do
yes,
exist.
they do.
Yeah.
Yeah, the original Battlefront. I don't understand how you can come out with a game in 2017, 15, right? And have it have less content than a game that came out in like 2006.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
it's a freaking 30 gig download.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It
did look pretty.
It's insane.
At points, it
I
sounded.
think-
It's all because of that audio.
Yeah.
The audio was like 20 gigs of that game.
They need to just make a clone of the original one because honestly, it's.
Yeah, port it.
I think a worse than the microtransactions for me is that the game it's not the same as the original in like any way. It just feels like a total slap in the face to all the people that grew up playing it. Like I was a little kid when I was playing those games, and they're awesome. And
I
then
was a little
seeing
kid,
that
but I
this
but no.
Yeah.
this is what happens to it sucks. It sucks.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, I totally agree. And you'd think by number 2 they would have that fixed.
Oh my god!
Like
no.
learn from some
Yeah.
mistakes. But
They added like a couple things. Ooh, we're gonna add
They did a Titanfall, what do you call it? Campaign, from what I heard.
the first
yeah.
It's
Titanfall.
just
I heard
a-
the second Titanfall's campaign was really good.
No, it really wasn't. It was just
it's really short.
Titanfall 2's campaign was an extended tutorial essentially.
Yes,
Oh.
totally was glorified. It was fun,
It was.
but yeah, it's like playing the Call of Duty campaign.
Oh, that's not good.
Duty.
Yeah, no, I heard the campaign was terrible. It made no sense. The AI was really glitchy, and like I've do you guys know what the plot is?
No.
I heard it was like there's this new character, right,
Yeah.
that comes in, but then I heard like really quickly the story and everything around that just kind of doesn't matter.
Yeah,
and
do
it
you
jumps
want to
around
know
horribly.
what happens?
You want to give us the summary?
Basically, her name's like Commander Iden or whatever, and this is the first opportunity, I think the first mainstream opportunity we finally had to be able to play as a member of like the Empire, right? As a bad guy, because she is raised and groomed to be in the Empire, right?
You mean an Empire Elite?
Yeah.
Okay.
So theoretically, it would not be easy to make someone like that defect. You'd be wrong, because I guess like less than halfway through the 5-minute campaign, she's like, "No, I'm a good guy now," and then Leia's like, "You're on our side," and just doesn't question it that she's gunned down thousands upon thousands of rebel troops before. It's like now she's good, because she like walks somewhere and sees like she's walking through the city and see all these like rebel people being abused or just like the stormtroopers being like terrible to everyone. It's like you were raised to I don't understand. It doesn't make any sense. You can't just defect from something that easily.
Well, that's what I had heard it would
Especially
happen. It's
when
like
you
you
have
really
powers.
care about it, and it seems cool and intense, and then suddenly it just shifts and it loses all integrity.
Yeah. And the plot's super muddled and confusing, and there's all these dumb cameos that make no sense that are just there because like, whoa, Han Solo, look at, whoa,
right.
we can do this. Yeah, okay, I get it. Jeez.
Did I see another comment pop up there?
Do we get another comment?
Oh,
What'd they say?
Brandon Reynolds said, "I never really play those games for the campaign." Yeah, I mean, it's true, but it sucks that games just can't. It's like, oh, they have a campaign, but it's just not good. I mean, because some people that was their entire job. They spent years working on that campaign, but either they were underfunded or maybe it wasn't their only job.
Oh,
They had
I
to do a bunch
definitely
of
think
other
the
stuff.
campaign was put in there to just shut people up.
Yeah.
Like, look, we put it in there. Shut up.
Yeah.
Right?
Whoa.
Like that's why it's in there.
The hype
And-
is real, new canon, and then it's just it's terrible.
Well,
so it's a shame that's.
I totally
how we-
agree with Brandon. Right.
Yeah.
I completely agree with him that I don't think that game clearly
And that-
based on the crappy campaign.
And that's what Zach said about our first Battlefront review.
oh yeah.
He's like, it's a great game for what it does.
It-
And I was like, okay, no, I know.
yeah.
But I'm just saying that's what he was saying.
Yeah.
I don't care for it because I'm not a shooter game
Yeah. Well, and I
player,
think
so I mean I really don't
it
have
was
that much to say.
for $7.50. Awesome game.
Yeah.
It is really actually
but
fun.
I paid
and it's great to
$85.
go in and do- Yeah, right. So, I mean,
Stop it.
I was never gonna go buy it brand new. That's for sure. Battlefront 2, but and I agree that yes, it's not really meant to be a campaign style game. That's not what it's focused on, and that's why I'm not the biggest fan of it. Right? Like I love a good story, and I love caring about why. I don't know if they fixed it in the second one, but a big issue I had with the first one is your character didn't matter at all. You had no
No.
personal attachment
Yeah.
to your character whatsoever, and you would just flip flop between, being a stormtrooper or being a rebel or something.
it's every other one.
Yeah, it just didn't matter what you were, and I missed that personal attachment
And that'd
to your
be
character
fine
and growing.
if you had the same character every time.
Yeah.
So you had the same stormtrooper, or you had the same.
It'd be like the campaign of the new one. You're just flip flopping back and forth constantly.
Well, no, but you know what I'm saying.
Yeah, or even if you could pick one and then run with it, and then pick
Yeah.
the other side, run with it, right?
Yeah, exactly what I'm saying.
That'd be cool, like a
you-
double campaign
Yeah,
Yeah,
with different endings.
it'd be like Infamous, right?
Or
Infamous
you know,
Star Wars.
I've always wanted is like something where it's like in one you play through it on the good side and you fight the evil guy, but like there's like one ending, but you can play through the other like side of it. So like you can play as the villain of the game.
Yeah.
That'd always be cool. Brandon Reynolds said it seems sort of forced in. Yeah, I guess
campaign?
for some of it, yeah, especially like some of the older Call of Duties. I remember everyone was just like, it's just a joke,
yeah.
right?
Oh yeah, and it's not the highlight of it.
Yeah.
And I totally acknowledge that. It's totally true. I think even like how you're talking about with Grand Theft Auto, which is
Yeah.
a game I play way too much. I'm kind of sick of it. But in
Well-
that game, it's totally turned into the highlight of it is the online.
Yes.
GTA 5 online is GTA 6, basically, right?
Yeah.
Like it is that next version of the game.
Yeah.
It just is. You can get so many more guns and vehicles and there's so much more options for the online part of it.
Especially if you go through the research stuff,
Yeah.
which I have been playing. How long have we been playing now? And we've only made one delivery for me.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Yep. Well,
They don't make grinding easy on this game.
no.
They're definitely just they're baiting you to buy that shark card hard,
Yeah.
and I'm not going to do it.
Well, and actually,
not going to do it.
I think it's super cool that people complained and that Disney complained and that EA actually listened, right?
Yeah.
And they're making
They
changes
panicked.
in the game.
They
It's
didn't
super
listen.
cool.
They panicked.
Yeah, well, but I think it's cool. It's cool that the nerd voice was actually heard and that
Yes.
somebody listened, right? So that there's power in what nerds have to say if enough of us rally together
Yeah.
is pretty cool, right?
I mean, the progression system is, I don't know if loot boxes are back in, but it's still really, really slow and tedious. But yeah, it's gone for now.
Yeah.
Which
well,
is-
and this wasn't
that's
the
a
only
plus.
game, right? Because right after this, the Need for Speed, the one you're talking with
Yeah.
cards. What's the hell?
Yeah,
that?
yeah, no, and you can't even like look in the engine. It's like, yeah, you just get cards that you open loot boxes and you get a card, and it's like this engine, these tires, and it's like what? It's like a totally just crappy, unfinished, just rushed.
the
Well, and now they've revamped that though.
Good.
Like EA has already gone back and started to do that. The next one in line, again, EA pointing fingers at you. FIFA 2018.
How the
Now
heck-
they're fixing that.
How the heck did they get? Okay.
Like there's people, I guess, that were
They can
online
stack their
playing.
characters.
That yeah, you can like get these characters, and people have gone online and spent. It's the same thing with Battlefront, where they've spent like $1,000 right online.
My entire front line is the same guy.
Yeah, they're the same guy. They come
All
out in
stacked.
like battle armor with machetes.
They just
and,
have
like,
guns.
Yeah, basically
You will die. Yeah.
forfeit.
Spiked cleats, like super spiked cleats.
Yeah, yeah. So
Slide
basically,
tackle. He's not getting up again.
yeah. Basically, EA gets the major finger point right now. I'm glad that they're picking up on it. I think that they were always teetering on that line of too much, and I
Yeah.
think they've crossed it. Right?
Yeah.
And people are pissed. They're definitely not the only game or the only company doing it.
Yeah.
So as far as the microtransaction part of it goes, I guess even like DLC and all that, like how do you guys actually feel about all that stuff? Like, is that awesome? Do we want that in games?
I got a thing. If it's DLC, if it's meaningful DLC, right? Obviously, it should be in there. Like,
Yeah.
But not
Like, but we
withheld.
had-
Not withheld from the original game just because.
yeah, well, not okay. So EA a while ago they had another thing they were doing. It was Day One DLC, where it would be stuff in the game that would be locked behind a paywall, but it's not like they already had it
that one first.
in the game, but you could pay and get it early, or you could pay and yeah.
Well-
Mark Ellinger, I don't play those games at all. Not that nerdy. Not to change the subject, but I'm looking forward to the new movie and another Jubilee.
Another Jubilee. Nice. We're looking forward to another Jubilee
Yes, we are
right
too.
now also.
And Star Wars.
yes.
But
and it's in good hands with Disney.
if it's any sort of loot box, the only thing I can really like justify it for is if it's like a really cheap game, or if it's maybe a really big game that like needs the money.
Okay, no,
Star Wars does not need the money. They have so much money behind
or
it.
even EA.
Yeah.
Like, right?
Here's where that comes
money
into play,
hungry
though.
are you?
So the loot box thing and the whole that part, free games.
Yeah.
Okay, but now there's another issue. So another game which we all actually didn't hate, right? And it's a free game, but you could spend money. Marvel Omega
Which
Heroes,
is getting
right?
shut down.
Now it's already shut down.
Oh, it is?
I think it's already shut down. Like, we could have signed up, loved that game, spent $80 to get all these different packs and everything. Shut down.
Yep.
Like, that's ridiculous to me. That's another big concern. I think if it's DLC, it's fine as long as it adds to the original content, right? Like, it's an extra. Like,
Yeah.
I want a full game that now I can get, like, extra levels or extra whatever.
Like Borderlands.
Like,
Borderlands is awesome DLC. It's
I
totally
think that's a
worth
good
it.
example of DLC.
Great level packs, and yeah.
But even like Horizon, right, which we were
Awesome
both
DLC.
playing, I think it's really awesome DLC. But it scares me because what if you come out with a game like what if that map already existed in Horizon the whole time, right?
Yeah, well, that's
and
what
all they did was
day one DLC is.
yeah,
Where it's like you can pay to get this even though it's already in the game. Like obviously it wasn't then.
yeah,
Right, but-
I genuinely think that that Guerrilla made that DLC.
Yeah.
And like
Oh,
they
yeah.
were working on it when the game came out, right?
Yeah.
Like they might have always intended to include that at some point, but I don't think it was ready or there
Oh, no.
when the game first came
Because
out.
it looks so much prettier. Like there's so many improvements in it that it doesn't feel like it's more than the base game. I think it's like the last thing you should play in that game because it really does feel like an awesome send off.
And
to it.
I also acknowledge or give them some props because it's reasonably priced.
Oh yeah,
It's not $30 or whatever. What is it
Yeah.
like?
20,
20
15
bucks?
if you have PS Plus. Which,
Yeah, I was
mean,
gonna say, I
if
think
you
that's
don't,
what it was.
what are you doing? Yeah, it has another hunting ground that's way harder, way more weapons, a lot more story. Like the plot, they just drop so many plot bombs, just like so much extra stuff. But it's like,
When I think of really awesome DLC, which if somebody listening knows of one, I'd love to hear of it. Really great examples are the infamous Festival of Blood. I really loved that DLC. I thought it was great.
I mean, it was reasonably priced, but I didn't like.
You didn't
that
care
much.
for it?
No, because I want to be able to have those powers in the base game.
Oh, so then you're not gonna like my other one because I actually liked the Red Dead DLC also.
Yeah, that was
The
kinda cool.
Undead Nightmare one, where it's like suddenly you're in zombie mode and you got to play all that stuff, which came with all sorts of new
That was
content.
the one I was
going to
bring up.
Yeah, but you liked that one.
Yeah.
yeah. No, I thought that was also great DLC because it
So wait,
didn't.
do you have the whole map to play in, or are you in like a little area? Or how does that
No,
work?
you get the whole map.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's
you get to
pretty
play
awesome.
and everything. But isn't that how Infamous is? It is the original map. You
I
just
thought
now
it was
suddenly
like
get to do everything.
Yeah, but I don't know. It just felt a little empty, but it was pretty cool.
Yeah.
I think-
Which
I
is
think for
again
what it was.
all PS3,
Yeah.
right? I really think PS4 is this scary time of, where games are so popular and so profitable, and I get it because we all want to make money, but it's so focused on how can we keep making money on this?
Yeah.
How can we keep milking money out of this game? And if the way to do that is to withhold content that's already there, that they could have just included in it,
Yeah.
I have a big issue with that.
I think a really big thing about it is people just accept it. Like I'm really big into speaking with my wallet. I'm not gonna buy Shadow of War until I can get everything like cheap. Because I'm not into those loot boxes and microtransactions in that game because it does not need it. There's no excuse.
What
for
about
it.
Injustice? How do you feel about that? Granted, I got that game for a steal.
It's
right?
it's not invasive at all. I mean, it's dumb that they're in there, and I got it for a discount, but I've never once felt the urge to open it because it constantly rewards you.
Yes.
With the multiverse, you're constantly getting like the gold boxes, the platinum boxes, maybe not the diamonds as much, but like I've never felt like I'm not getting rewarded. And I've played the game for like, hours upon hours, and most games start with
Can you get all the
getting rewarded.
characters, or do you have to buy some of the characters?
You have to buy them.
Yeah,
the worst
the
one,
the DLC ones.
yeah. So you get your core characters, and then you buy. The crappiest part about it, which I get, is even if you buy the pack, you still have to spend. Is it $6 to get?
Oh yeah, Darkseid.
To get Darkseid.
Darkseid.
No matter what, if you want,
Unless you
Darkseid.
pre-ordered it.
Yeah, unless you pre-ordered, which is kind of cool because that also, even though he's already there and he already exists, it does make it exclusive to those people, right?
Yeah.
Like that's like a day one DLC that still retains some day one value.
Yeah, I don't know.
Like, it's not enough for me to go get it, but I did spend $5. I have him, right? So it's like, but I got everything for a pretty sweet deal. So I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a really
I-
tough call.
I
One
think
of
the
the-
DLC's worth it. I think it's actually just an amazing game.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
that game transitions so well from 1 to 2. It's one of the best games that I've seen do that because one of my favorite characters in the first one was Batman, and I was able to pick up number 2, jump in as Batman, and do all those moves I did in the first game. This just as good as I did the first time, which is really cool. They didn't change everybody's move set. They have changed some.
I mean,
some
the
moves
Flash
and
has
things,
way
but-
cooler moves.
Yes,
So
They made a lot of people way cooler.
yeah,
they did that through the Tekken series too. When they were doing that, they kept a lot of them the same move sets.
yeah, and for sure that one's so like fighting style based that, but they kept them that way, right? And they kept their button patterns. The
Some
same.
of the stuff they would change a couple things in the middle. So like some of the 10-hit combos when you get into it, it's like it just would break right in the middle because you're so used to doing the same thing over and over and over again.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But I learned them eventually.
Oh, all right. We got another comment.
Uh-oh.
Back to microtransactions. EA used to be in the dump until they changed their business model with Dead Space 3. Oof, never forget.
That's,
and they have kept this
PS3
model
again.
ever since. Yeah. Dead Space, that's a really sad thing. So EA actually does this a lot where they'll take a company, Visceral for instance, and they'll be like, hey, just make a game. And Visceral made an amazing game called Dead Space. And EA is like,
I like Dead Space.
profit? Yes. And they grubbed up Dead Space 2 a little bit. They're like, yeah, okay, so I see you have this really awesome game, this really unique game, but what if we just added an unnecessary multiplayer mode that would detract, time and money that could be spent in making it an even more excellent single player? And let's also make it a little more actiony and violent because, people don't... If it's a straight horror game, it's not going to be profitable.
Yeah,
Dead Space
it's
2
too
is pretty
small
good.
of a demographic.
Dead Space 2 is pretty good. I never played it, so I don't know if it's... Or I played a little bit, and I personally like 1 better because it was more like... It was more scary.
Because it's a sequel.
You're more vulnerable. No, I'm not. I don't hate sequels, right? Like Injustice 2, great game.
That's
right?
true.
Great sequel from the get-go, but Dead Space 2 felt more actiony, and that's not what the first one was. And then Dead Space 3 was just it was a 2-player. You could also play online. I don't know if there was an online multiplayer battle system anymore, but it was filled with microtransactions. And basically EA was like, if this doesn't break, I think 3 million units sold. Or just some ridiculous amount.
Yeah.
Then we're Dead Space. And it didn't. It never will. Because it was like, for sort of not really a niche horror game, but like a horror game, something that's not mass marketable to EA's, giant, massive, 12-year-olds, it was never going to work. And they knew it. And then Visceral was making this really awesome Star Wars game that was going to be a great single-player Uncharted-like adventure with the lady from Uncharted working on it, and they shut it down. And they shut down Visceral.
Yeah,
Because EA just... and they do this with
not
all
making
sorts of
money
companies.
fast enough.
Yeah, the companies
say-
make a great game, and then EA just milks it for everything it has, and when they keep failing, because EA, messes it up, they just shut the studio down.
I think Dead
It's too
Space
bad.
3 was my introduction to Dead Space, and I didn't care for it.
Yeah.
So.
yeah.
Dead
No, I
Space-
played the first one and I dabbled in the second, and I went into the first one really apprehensive because I'm not the biggest fan of horror stuff, right?
Yeah.
But I really loved it. I thought it
Yeah.
was really great. The way the display isn't jarbled with a bunch of crap.
Yeah.
And you're just like it feels intense. Like that game, if you play that with headphones and turn all the lights off
no.
and it's late at night,
Nope.
that game is intense, man. And that's what I want from a horror game. And that game achieves it. It totally does. So
Yeah.
I gave that game a lot of props. I really went in thinking I wouldn't like it, and I came away thinking this game is actually pretty sweet. So
Dang.
But yeah, and EA just... I think Brandon makes a good point as that's kind of where they really started the microtransaction trend, because I think it was something about, correct me if I'm wrong, Brandon, but it was something about your guns. I think you could upgrade your guns crazy
yeah.
if you paid for it, because you find those nodes or whatever, and I think you could end up buying the nodes for real money.
yeah.
And it's it was
That's
it was
part of
bad.
the issue, I think, too, is that none of this is real. Right? There's nothing, and it's all...
You don't get anything
so
out of
much
it.
of it, and none of it's all turning into not even tangible. You don't even get discs anymore. Everything is all going into this weird digital, just nothingness world that people, that they're so obsessed with. It's just crazy. It's really getting to be too much. And the other thing, so speaking on that, how we're just keep gravitating to that point, another thing that really concerns me is how many games, and I'm going to point a big finger at Ubisoft for this, how many games, you won't even let me save the file on my system? I can't even put a save file on my system. There's so many Ubisoft games where it's cloud-based, right? It's all cloud-based saves. So it's just not even there. I can't even access my save file.
Yeah.
And then now we're talking like Omega again, right?
Yeah.
Where the servers now get shut down. Now I don't even have my save file.
All that money you put in there, gone. Like most, I think that happened actually with another game. It wasn't popular. It was, I think, the Tomorrow Children. But like, it was shut down pretty quick because like no one was playing on it, and it was too much money to keep the servers up. But it's like that's not fair to people that spend their money. They should at least get some sort of refund.
You should at least let me play the game without it being hooked up online, right? Let me play it without it being hooked up online, and let me own my save file. I'm the one that played that game for, who knows, it could be a couple hundred hours. I don't know how long these people are playing this. You at least earned the right to own that save file. And come on, right? If you're going to let me have anything, let me have that.
Yeah, Ubisoft they're just scummy. They're just, I don't even, and I think they're really big offenders too. Or are they?
I put them up there as pretty big offenders.
I can't really
Ubisoft
think
is
of
not that great.
Did they make Shadow of...
just their biggest offense is the fact that they pump out content that's not finished.
Yeah.
For sure.
Assassin's Creed had loot boxes. They weren't as invasive, but it's the fact that people accept that. They're like, oh, it has... I guess that's... Oh, God, that's sort of the way for Injustice as well. Oh, God, yeah. Because
it scares me.
I accept it, but in the next game, if it just gets a little worse, and a little worse, and you just keep accepting it, because it's like, that's just how things are.
Yep.
You just have, pay with your wallet. Or speak with your wallet, because it's more powerful than your words, I think. Especially in cases like these.
Yep. I totally agree. I think it's worth... Well, and I'm going to totally do that with Battlefront. When Battlefront 2 comes out for $750, and my brother owns it, or somebody owns it that I can play that game with, okay. Yeah. That's worth it to me to pay that. We've been playing Need for Speed from 2015.
Yeah, for $10.
I paid $10 for that on Black Friday. That game is awesome. For $10, so worth it.
I bought the $12 one.
What? What did it get you? Was it worth it?
It got me that Beamer.
Oh, really? That's what it got you right out of the gate? For $2? I guess maybe that's worth it. That's microtransactions my budget can handle.
Exactly.
Right? I found that at the couch. I go with that one. Yeah. Maybe that's what they just start putting coin slots on your PlayStation. It'll just say digital coin slots.
Oh, Brandon said that he grew up with Dead Space. There's childhood. Isn't it great to have your childhood ruined? Thanks, EA.
Well, I think that's awesome that I have, because I'm assuming Brandon is around your age, right?
Yeah.
Like, we're totally in... I think that our generation, me and Jeremiah, is such the and maybe even people that are a little bit older than us, but we fall into the generation of the super reboot, right? Like, everything we loved as children is being brought back now and being rebooted.
And worse.
And it's so much of it is just bad, right?
Yes.
A lot of it is good. There are some really good stuff in there, but so much of it is bad.
Jumanji, why are they rebooting that?
And see, even for us, that was we did get the first version of it, and it was fine when it came out at the time, but I was never this big Jumanji fan. The biggest offenders I think of are like Transformers is terrible. Oh, Ninja Turtles is terrible. That's such a bad one.
Yes.
I think this Batman BVS, I'm not going to say the full name, that is kind of a terrible one that has happened because two of my all-time favorite superhero movies is the very first Superman with Christopher Reeves.
Yep.
I ruined VHS cassettes, right? Because we're that old. Watching that movie, and the 1989 Batman with Michael Keaton ruined that VHS, right? Like, those are gold standards for us, and to just keep seeing that. And not only were they
VHSs that we ruined, they were VHSs that we recorded it off of TV.
Yeah,
ruined.
That's probably why I got ruined, right? They were that cheap. And Batman is a huge offender, I think. Like, he's been ruined so many times.
Yes.
But it's really hard to... It's such a thrill.
Jack, see how many times our childhood's been ruined?
Oh, yeah. I mean, the prequels were probably just like... That must have been terrible. Because I grew up with the prequels thinking they were good, because they were aimed for 6-year-olds, like I was, right?
Yeah, right. Well, I think that Star Wars is a super good example of that, because we grew up as kids watching the first original trilogy, and then being so hyped in high school to go see this new trilogy, which was garbage, right?
That was high school?
Yeah, wasn't that high school?
That was our high school.
Yeah, that was our high school,
what?
man. And we watched, so we went and saw that new trilogy, and we're so offended. That might be the first reboot, super offensive thing that I can throw back to.
Yeah.
Right? that and like there were some other obscure ones in there, but that was one of the first ones.
And then the first new Star Wars was basically a reboot of The New Hope.
Yeah, right. It
The
was,
same
but
structure.
again, it's weird that Star Wars is almost coming full circle now.
Yeah.
Right? Like it's starting to get good again, and it's getting me excited again. It's like, it's just weird that
It's bringing us back.
it totally is, right? It's like weird that we're living this like, it makes me feel so old. Totally does. To deal with the
my
downfall
God,
of
that's the
it
first
and
time
then
this week I
the
thought that.
revival. Yeah, right? That's the only time I've ever thought that.
No, so that's not the first time this week I thought
Oh,
that.
not the first. Yeah,
Yeah, it's like, oh my God.
Yeah, that was my next thing. That's awesome. Yeah. Well, and I think
Wow,
I think the big part of the whole dealing with the reboot thing and catering to like our generation with it all is I've even noticed like big shifts in the marketing of it, because now there's a Nissan Last Jedi car or something, right?
Oh, dude, they've been doing with Jeeps, been doing
I'm
the Call of
looking
Duty
that up.
Jeeps for a while.
Oh yeah, they've been doing that
This
too,
is
right?
so stupid.
But that shows you right there how much this product is catered to the adult, adult nerd.
Now,
right?
you want to talk about adults and DLC? Let's get on to freaking auto manufacturers and the freaking sticker packages. So we're going to sell you this car. It's a base model car. We're going to put air conditioning in it so that we can call it not a base model. And then we're going to put a sticker package on it. And we're going to charge you an extra $7,000 for a limited edition off it. When you just bought a base model with air conditioning and stickers.
Yeah. It's so that you can drive around and
Yeah,
really
and
see
it's
that.
like Jeep and Scion are probably like the two worst for that.
Yeah. You know, the
And
biggest...
I really hate it because I love Jeep.
yeah.
But
Well, and Scion, wasn't that the whole mentality behind Scion?
Yes, it was.
like, let's come out with this line of cars that we'll make all this aftermarket crap for so that people can do it, right? It's like, it's our Civic generation.
exactly,
right?
it totally
what that
is.
Yeah.
Yes.
I think the biggest Star Wars thing, and I actually saw this, there's a commercial on TV, it's like Gillette or something, I can't remember what the brand is, but it literally shows a guy shaving like Star Wars verse style, and you can get the Last Jedi shaver. Are you kidding me? What?
They could have stopped at lunchboxes, but they didn't.
No,
Yeah,
you
no,
can shave with it.
Those Nissan Star Wars cars are no.
Right?
They have X-wing engines on the side. That is not safe to drive on the road with. You're going to hit someone.
Have you not seen that Corolla that's rolling around town?
Oh, the Mad Max one?
Well, it's I don't
Is
know
it
if
a
it's
Corolla or is it a Celica?
or it's the Celica. You're
Yeah,
right. It's the
it's
Celica.
like a gross
Those
teal
are
Celica.
tiny blades.
Yeah.
Yeah, which one?
Yeah.
He's got like 15 things in
Yeah,
off that damn
that's
car.
cool. I mean, but that's I don't know. That's cooler.
The shaver was like pushing me
It's
over
cooler
the edge.
because he did it himself, and it's all.
Yeah.
Like, unless when you shave, that thing better go like womp womp womp.
Dude, it better be electric, and when you turn it on, it better go.
right. Yeah.
It lights up. Yeah.
Yeah, like it needs to do something, dude.
Whoa.
Like I don't know if you bought that
It does. It
razor.
goes.
Kudos to you for your dedication to Star Wars. I'm not going to be that guy, man. That blew my mind when I saw that commercial.
Uh-oh. What's Eric have to say?
Oh, it's sad. I'll tell you later.
Oh, okay.
It's sad. It's about. It has to do with mead glasses I gave him that broke. Not his fault. We're not throwing him under the bus because it's not his fault. I don't know. I just feel. I think there's a lot of hope for the nerd stuff.
A New Hope.
Right? There is a new.
There
hope
is a
for
new
it.
hope. Yes.
And I do think there's.
I gotta give you that one. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I really feel
He's
bad.
learned
but
so
I gotta,
well. You learned so much from
I'm
us.
disappointed in myself.
I am so proud.
So proud. It's crazy to me to be that kid who would like beg my mom to buy me like, you know, Transformers cereal or Star Wars cereal and like, you know, shoes and T-shirts and like toys and that kind of thing. To where now I'm the adult and you like want to like beg your wife, right? It's like that all happened. It's like that's crazy to me. It's awesome because I still get to live in my nerd reality, right? And the world's just going to shift and cater to that around me.
Yes.
But which is really, really cool. And when it's done right, it really is like the coolest thing ever. And you've gone to see movies with me. When I go to see a movie that is that like childhood thing that I love, I'm totally giggling. I'm
You
just
are. It's
giggling
hilarious.
in my seat and loving every moment of it when it makes
Dude,
me feel
it's
like
just,
a little
it's
kid.
just this full pearl grin,
Yeah.
and he's on the edge of his seat, and he's just like,
He's like, this is so cool. Look at this, is so awesome. And
It's a little weird. But, you know,
Oh, dude,
teach
you
their
can
own.
hear the squeaks. It's hilarious.
yeah, no, I just and it totally happens. It makes me feel totally like a little kid again, and which is the coolest thing in the world. But I think it's now we're on that verge of there's such a more of a mass market for it all, and like what are the big blockbuster movies every year? They're all superhero stuff.
Yeah, they are now.
They're
Yeah.
all nerd
Yeah.
things.
They are.
With the like your electronic stuff is all nerd stuff.
Yeah.
Now it's going to be cars and shavers. It's going to be all nerd stuff. Like
Weird.
it's just kind of weird.
Wonder if it's just going to end one day.
Cars are just going to be are going to
That's
go.
I think that's a super valid point, and I really come back to just they're going to mess it up. And they're going to come out with some stuff that we don't agree with. There's going to be so many Michael Bays out there. They're going to ruin things. And unfortunately, some Zack Snyders now, which I still love you, Zack Snyder. You've made some great movies. But enjoy it, man. Enjoy it while it lasts.
Yeah.
You really need to just enjoy
Well, people think it's
superhero
cool,
movies.
Yeah.
Just enjoy it while we're being bombarded with the amount of it that we are. It's never been at the forefront the way it has been for the past 10 years. Mm-hmm. Right? And I'm amazed it's lasted.
And like what you're saying there too. So Marvel's wrapping up. We're doing the Infinity War, all this stuff. What you're saying, and it's like it's coming up. What's Marvel going to do after that? We keep questioning. What's Marvel going to do to keep it continuing? Will that be DC's chance to shine?
Can they keep reinventing the wheel? Right?
Yeah, but I'm saying, will that be DC's chance to shine? Will that be DC's moment to step in?
Hope so.
Me
I
too.
really hope
Yeah,
so.
no, that's what I'm saying, and step up to the forefront and say, hey, here's our universe, and here's what we're actually doing. Forget all that other stuff.
Yeah. Well, I think it's important to point out that Marvel didn't make super amazing movies right out of the gate. It took them a while to get to where they are at
okay,
now,
that's
right?
a fair point.
DC has made some other movies also. They were also making garbage along the way. They should have learned from that. I'm not saying they're totally innocent on this thing, but
DC was the first,
yes, I think totally. They totally were. Yeah.
but
And they were amazing. Superman, Batman, these are amazing movies.
they were.
Totally favorites.
The trouble is they just caught in this rut of we're going to keep making Superman and keep making Batman.
Yeah, my favorite is
Apparently-
totally the Michael Keaton story of him for the third Batman movie he was supposed to be in, and the director sat him down. It was like some meeting or something they were having, and I've told this story before, but it's great. And he told him, I'd never understood why Batman always needs to be so like broody and dark, and then like promoted the like bright colors and stuff. And Michael Keaton's just like, and I'm out. I'm not making this movie. You're missing the point. So I don't know.
Did you hear their? I was reading an article talking about they might be tapping him to bring him back for the Dark Knight stuff.
Really?
Yeah,
To have Keaton come back?
try and bring him back because he'll be the old broken down
Oh, for sure.
Batman. Which
Yeah.
I think it's a great idea.
Yeah. I did recently watch BVS again. I watched
Yeah,
the
I saw it.
uncut
It
version.
was on your like by your TV. I
Yep.
was like,
I bought
I'm
Black
just gonna
Friday.
watch it with you.
I'll watch it again. I'm gonna drink
Oh
some
my
more
God.
beer this time, but $4.
Even more?
Yeah.
Oh,
$4. The whatever Cyber Monday.
yeah,
right.
Yeah.
So was the director's cut that much better?
It's not that much better, but I will say after watching Wonder Woman and after watching Justice League, I was more prepared for the tone of it and what it was going to be like, and it wasn't as bad, right? And I do think that there is some key stuff in that director's or the Ultimate I think it's called the Ultimate Edition, right? It's
Yeah,
like 30 more
whatever.
minutes of stuff. There were some actual scenes in there that did make the pacing better. Like, it still has garbage moments, and I still out loud laughed when they have their, like, Martha moment. Right?
God.
What did you say? That's my mom's name. Oh, let's hug. Let's call our moms together and, like, group chat and talk to our moms.
Well, I mean, talk to the mom and the one.
Yeah, right.
Batman's mom is dead.
Like, maybe it's over a seance. I don't know.
Oh my God.
Maybe they'll figure it out. He's the Dark Knight. He's got a Ouija board in the Batcave.
Oh my God. Okay.
It's shaped like a bat. But
So
it's there.
microtransactions.
There's extra B's and A's and T's on it, but it's
Microtransactions are bad.
but they're not going away.
No.
They're
Unless
never
we
going to go
speak
away.
with our wallet. I think the only way to do it is to speak with your wallet. Stop accepting it. Stop breaking down. When you're playing Overwatch,
What they
be
did
strong. Be strong.
what they did say though is the fact that the cost of a game really hasn't increased that much,
Yeah.
and that is how they're trying to offset it.
It's just a
But to
dumb
be
excuse.
fair, why would I pay more for a game that's half a game?
Yeah.
Right? Like, because that's the route they're going.
But why can we not just add $10 to the cost of a game and just get the?
If that's all it took,
You
I
know,
would totally
they don't
do it.
even need that. They don't need that. It's just a bunch of lies and a bunch of darn gobbledygook.
And they tried that mentality of like raising prices as far as systems go, and we know like that was such a terrible backlash with all that, right?
Yeah.
Like that was this huge debacle, and then they went back to it with this next generation of systems. They went back to that kind of base price.
Yeah.
I mean, eventually, yes.
Yeah,
it's
but
all gonna have
hardware
to
has
cost
gone down in cost, and we all know that. That's one of the biggest things
Yes.
that we know. Because, I mean, the cost to build an original NES versus the cost to build a PS4, I'm pretty sure those original NESs, for as base model machine as that is, cost twice as much as it costs to build a PS4 does now.
Oh yeah, maybe.
It's crazy.
That's
You
why
know,
they can sell their
I
classic
mean, like
with
my-
games for $60, right?
Yeah, well, exactly. But I say my first home built computer I had was 512 megabyte processor or something like that. It was super nothing.
Dinosaur.
Yeah, and I
Now we
want to
feel
say,
old again.
and I want to
Yeah,
say it cost me over
you are.
$2,000 to build it.
Yeah. Jack's going, what's a megabyte?
Yeah, exactly. but I'm just saying, it was a 512 system, and it cost me over $2,000 to build, and I can build something that's blazing fast for $1,000 now.
Oh yeah.
Sonic speed.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, but it's serious. Like if you build your own computer now, I mean, $1,000, you can build something that's going to compete with any off-the-shelf system.
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
So,
We got 2 more comments from Brandon.
uh-oh.
I was sitting on this one for a while. He worked on the Mad Max car at his work.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and he also is waiting for a Wonder
He
Twins.
worked on the Mad Max car.
Yeah,
What do you mean? The Celica?
yeah. I think he works at.
The teal
I
Celica?
forgot where he works, but
Good,
he
props to
worked
you,
on it,
Brandon.
Yeah, and he's
Props to
waiting
you
for
for having
a
the balls
Wonder
to
Twins.
He doesn't drive
movie.
it though.
No,
Okay.
no. So they're like one of the Hanna-Barbera. I never watched Wonder Twins.
Yeah, they're like, I think they wear like the purple gear.
They touch
and,
tips.
like,
That's
yeah, it's like
Oh,
is it
they-
like
they
a
fist
ring or
bump.
something. I think it's like a ring they touch,
touch.
and they unite, which is also kind of weird.
Yeah, I mean, if they're twins, that's legal in some states.
Wow.
But I think we've said a lot. I think it's. Do you guys have anything more you want to say
Have we
before
beat
we get
the bush
to?
enough?
Yeah,
I think so. I think it all comes down to it's not going to go away.
No.
And I agree with you that you have to speak with your wallet and you have to
Yeah.
fight that nerd urge. No matter how awesome that trailer looks and no matter how much they're tapping that nerd vein.
Yeah, don't do what I did with Battlefront.
Yeah, do your research. I guess that's the biggest
Yeah.
thing. Do your research because the nerd community is so strong. Somebody out there has, hacked into something or whatever, put something out there that you already get this sweet previews of everything. If
Yeah.
you look, it's there. So do your research. Don't just buy it because it has your superhero or your nerd whatever obsession on it. Right? Don't fall for that. It's sad, but don't fall for it.
yeah.
Yeah, so how's that? So when do you get the new Spider-Man?
Shut up. And the new DBZ, right? Yeah. So, yeah, it's hard to call. Tough thing to say. I'm going to keep buying nerd stuff.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say, and it's an awesome time to be a nerd. I still give a lot of credit to that.
What do you guys think about your drinks?
Our drinks? Well, first, keep watching
Oh, yeah.
My Hero, because we're going to
Yes.
wrap that up next episode. We're going to talk about it. And I also have to give a personal shout out to, I'll call him Mr. T. I
Mr.
guess?
T.
Mr. T, because that's his PlayStation name when we play games. He gave me this sweet
That is freaking
Transformers thermos, which is great. And one of my favorite things about these is it has a really sweet 70s colored. I never knew why it was that color, but it's awesome.
Brown.
Yeah, and it made that whenever you drank out of it, it made that like, yeah, right,
Yeah.
totally. Because we're old, you probably never had one of these, did you?
No.
No,
right?
Yeah.
See, these are nerd things you missed out on.
Yeah,
They remade this
wow.
and ruined it in your lunchbox.
Oh.
I'm sure of it.
I had the Justice League lunchbox.
Oh, nice! Now I'm jealous. I had the Secret Wars like Marvel one that had like Marvel.
Oh,
heroes on it.
nice.
Yeah, and it was the
Nice.
metal edition. The one Tyler gave me was
Like,
plastic. But
Mine was
still, it's
plastic.
awesome.
Mine was all plastic.
So shout out to Tyler. Thank you for doing that. It's awesome. Adding to the nerd room. We got a couple lunch boxes I'll add in the background. So yes, let's talk about the beer.
Awesome. I think it definitely got better as it went along.
Yeah.
As just saying, as I
Did you
drank.
get better or did the beer get better?
everything did.
I adapted to it, maybe. I mean,
Both. I
Including-
think both, because I also
including the
have
pain.
enjoyed Jeremiah more as the episode's gone on. So
Thanks.
you also
Normally, he just hates Jeremiah.
usually by the end we're at each other's throats.
We cut that out.
Yeah.
A lot of editing needs to happen.
yeah. So for live episode, this went well. Yeah.
We're really showing a lot of restraint.
No, the roasty flavor really started to come to the forefront as you were drinking it. The sweetness didn't really grow as much as I was expecting it to.
No.
Still has a lighter bodied mouthfeel than I was expecting. It's a little. The flavor still lingers longer than I like, but it's pretty good.
Yeah. It's
Overall.
almost like why you drink it. It has this lighter body to it, but then it like lingers with this weight of the flavors in your mouth. For sure.
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah. I'm gonna have gross beer mouth after this. Beer.
Yes, this definitely leaves you with, well, we can't call it IPA breath because it's not an IPA, but
Yeah.
Jubile Ale.
Yeah. A jubilee of beerness in your mouth.
Yes.
Yeah. But and
Jubile Ale.
yeah, right. I think it's warmed up really nicely.
Yeah,
Right.
It's definitely one that does better.
Yeah, and it's not super high numbers. I
When
mean,
we say warm, we're not talking like warm. We're talking
not right out of the fridge.
yeah.
Yeah.
And not
there's
room
no more
temperature yet either.
condensation on the glass.
Yeah.
It's 6.7, which I think is a pretty good number for a winter beer.
Mm-hmm.
And it doesn't really have an alcohol tone to it.
No, it doesn't.
I didn't notice that. I'm a big fan of the roastiness that it has, which I think as it warmed up overpowered its kind of red beer
Yes.
elements, which
That
I'm
definitely
not
came-
the biggest fan of. So I prefer. I think if I was gonna drink this again, which I didn't do on GTA Tuesdays because that's all about chaos, I would let it actually warm up a little bit. I think
Yeah,
it would be fine
definitely.
with like take the 6-pack, or maybe you're not gonna drink 6. Take 1 or 2, put them on the counter, and let them. If they warm up a
That'd
little
be a
bit,
good
that's
GTA
fine.
Tuesday.
Put them in the microwave. Put them in the oven.
No,
500 degrees.
no,
And then just turn the bottle all the way upside down to pour it into a glass like Jack does.
Yeah.
Yeah. You nuke it. That's how Jack pours beer. You nuke it first. And
And
then,
when the cap blows off, then you pour it.
yeah.
Yeah.
He just puts it in a glass in the microwave.
Put it in a pot
if-
and you wait for the glass to shatter.
If the bottom
then you
blows
pick
out,
the
well, then you
pieces
get another
out.
one and try again.
Yeah. It's scary. It's scary.
No, I definitely agree with you though. The malt and the roasty flavor definitely came forward more. You got a little bit more of the hot bitter in there too at
Yeah.
the end, which was good. It needed it. It needed the balancing.
I think that adds to the skunk tongue. That roasty and that little bit of hoppiness.
It does
and
a
everything
little
in there.
bit,
Yeah.
but I'll take it for what it does to
Yeah.
the beer. Overall, I like it a lot better now. I'm probably gonna say 6.75.
6.75. He gave it 3 numbers.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm gonna give it
6.75.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Put a point in
happy?
between.
I
those,
did.
you? Okay.
Yeah.
My lord.
A dingus.
I'm gonna give it 6.75, huh? I'm gonna give it a full 7. I think it is good, and I'm really stoked that my wife picked up a case of this for me. I'm glad I have a few more, and I would totally buy another case of it.
Nice.
I think that warrants a full 7.
Nice.
It goes in my beer fridge.
Awesome.
What do you think of yours, Jack? Can you remember?
Yeah. Well, I already wrote down my score. It smelt better than it tastes. It's one of those. I mean, I think that's pretty common. It didn't really
It's a funny statement.
it didn't really commit to either being a caramel sort of malty root beer or just like straight root beer, and it also had like a really watered down taste, but it didn't. And maybe this was because it was kind of watered down, but it didn't give me like a, you know, when you drink root beer too fast, you're like, ooh, I need to let that settle. Like I never felt
I
had
think of
that.
root beer as being very carbonated.
yeah.
Yes.
Typically, when I like as far as like other sodas in comparison or whatever, I think of root beer as a very carbonated soda. So it's weird that it wasn't.
Yeah, and I don't think it was me not pouring it.
I think
'cause
it
I
was.
pour it the same every time, and it's but
Well, just think of how much more carbonated the ones you think were carbonated were. If you
Next episode, we're going to start
Pour it
with
good.
empty glasses, all of us, and
Yes.
we are all going to pour properly.
yeah, can't wait for that. But Yeah, better than okay. So I gave it a 6. It wasn't, I mean, I'll drink it again, but it's not something I'd keep in my root beer fridge. Or if it was, I'd keep it in the sides.
In the door.
Keep it in the door.
Yeah, that's what I say.
But
you put the good stuff behind.
It almost makes me want that one of the caramel
balls.
sodas already
You
had.
want more balls?
No, don't want balls. But yeah, it was better than okay. And 3 more things. Brandon put tires on the car. Right.
Oh, okay.
Mark Ellinger says, $1 a bottle, you can't beat it for the price. You don't need to refrigerant, just leave it in a cool place.
That's true. He leaves it in the shop at work in the back.
Hey,
which
works.
I after when that first was the case, I disagreed a little bit with that mentality, but really after enjoying it a little more slowly and noticing its temperature change, totally agree. You're right. You're right. You're right,
says,
Mark.
Yes, I'm still
Listen,
watching
Dad.
along
Yeah.
with one other person, Brandon. So, thank you, Mark. Thank you, Lucas. I don't even know if you watched it. Thanks for...
Yeah, he gave us
Yeah.
a hard time, which is what he does. And
And
I love him
thanks
for
for
that.
Brandon.
And I want my game back.
Yeah.
Yeah, Lucas. Yeah.
Did you say Brandon watched it with somebody else?
Well, that's what your dad said.
Oh, he watched it
Yeah,
with somebody else.
watching it with
Yeah,
watching
my mom.
it with Brandon.
Yeah, I was like, Mom.
Your dad has captured Brandon, or maybe Brandon has captured your dad.
That would be hilarious.
Yeah,
Yeah. Next will be the video, the ransom video.
yeah,
Yeah. On Brandon's feed. Well,
You know
thank
what?
you, Brandon, so much. It,
Yeah.
Yes.
totally makes our day. I really, really appreciate you watching the video and commenting. It's really, really awesome. If you, I'll tell you what, Brandon, if you send us another comment and just, really tell us how amazing we are, because I almost understood what you meant the first few times, I'll make you fan of the month and hook you up with a t-shirt.
Yeah.
How about that?
definitely.
That's solid, right?
Yeah.
Solid.
Total solid.
All right, now play us out before I give away more stuff.
All right, wait, we got the
Yep, let's do it.
All right.
To all the nerds,
Through all the fuzz.
bottoms up
Let's get Nerdbuzzed.
to another 100.
Talking about beer, talking about
know, count all
nerd
the damn bonuses.
culture. You're
Don't
on
count their bonus.
Nerdbuzzed.
They're free DLC.
Marcus and Jeremiah. You're on Nerdbuzzed.
Soon to be dead.
yeah, soon to not be. Bye. Have a.
Oh my god.
Let's get Nerdbuzzed.
So it's not playing out the.
No, we're not there.